Hey guys, it's me Matthew again. Today I'm going to be doing another audio. And this time, this particular story isn't based or inspired by any other story. It's purely my own. It's called A Tomcat's Happiness. And this one is a bit more easier for me to read this time. And this time it has a bit more additional audio sensations. And you'll see what I mean. But anyways, I truly do hope you all like this story. So please, if you like it, subscribe, press the ding bell down below. But if you're not new here, not subscribed, please subscribe, press the ding bell down below, as well as go over to my community posts. You don't know what you may find, as well as go over to check out my previous audio series known as Anime/Dragon Knight Unlimited. But anyways, let's move on to the audio story. Season 3, Chapter 1. It's been 10 weeks since Etalon and Atalante's birth, and they were ready to go on without Sabria being there to feed them. So we went up to the surface and headed to Sandra's house to drop them off at 10 p.m. at night. Sabria knocked on the door, then Sandra opened it and asked, Sabor, where have you been? You had us all worried sick. And who are these two young ones? Sabria said, we'll tell you the story another day. But right now, this is Atalon and Atalante. We're leaving them in your care until further notice to protect them while we deal with business. Those vampire hunters have no idea what they started. Sandra said, oh no, you're both coming with me. I said, sorry, but they killed my mother. They tried to kill me, and most of all, my eyes turned a blood crimson red. They tried to kill my beloved Queen of Beasts, Sabria. I will not have them try to kill our kittens, our prince and princess. I will not. So you will let us go to put an end to this nonsense. Do I make myself perfectly clear? Sandra said with shock and fear. Yes, sir. Sabria said, thank you, Aunt Sandra. Here's everything you'll need to take care of them, and I know you have standby clothes for all ages as well as sizes. But anyway, see you when we get back. We love you. Take care of our babies. Bye. She waved her hand and Sandra waved hers. She was going to say something, but we had run off before she had a chance. We headed to the nearest bookstore and map shop to find out a general idea of where they could be. We even bought 3 solar-charged walkies that came with portable chargers in case of emergencies, plus they're waterproof. Sabria said, okay, let's see here. We're here, and according to the vampire history book of past known campsites, it should be here, but according to public police records of this area, there are 10 known vampire hunter campsites here, and here, but the rest are unknown as of right now. So let's go to the past vampire hunter campsites as a start before we head over to the other 10. I nodded my head and we headed off. We checked 3 of 6 old vampire hunter campsites, but they were either turned into a historic landmark or turned into an actual campground, so we're heading be the fourth one to find it abandoned, or so we thought. It was in a forest that was very thick and part swamp that made it very hot even at night, but we managed to find it. As we approached, we saw someone coming out with a firelit torch. It was a woman who didn't look like a vampire hunter. In fact, she looked more like a bounty hunter more than anything else. Sabria snapped a tree branch, and the bounty hunter said, "Who's there? Show yourself." I sped up, grabbing Sabria, and got behind the bounty hunter. She asked, "So you're vampires, huh? Well, you two shouldn't sneak up on a woman who can get paid by delivering the heads to the vampire hunters." Sabria said, "We weren't sure if anybody was even over here, but at the very least, a vampire hunter or two for us to question so that we can end the vampire hunters in this country." He started laughing. "You're only young adults. You couldn't stop them even if you tried." We showed her our wings and she said, "Wait, you're beast royalty?" Sabria said, "So that's what our wings mean." "Okay." The bounty hunter asked, "So you didn't know?" "Well, you should know that there's a prophecy that dictates the end of the vampires or the vampire hunters or the end of both." Sabria asked, "What does the prophecy say?" The bounty hunter said, "I can't tell you here. The vampire hunters have ways to hide cameras." After she saw our wings, she seemed a little frightened of us and became more cooperative with us at her home. We walked into her house and she said, "Make yourselves at home." Sabria said, "Thank you. Now then, what's your name?" The bounty hunter said, "My name is Croatia," or through the Bounty Hunters League, the head deliverer, but I had only one rule that kept me going, and that rule is to not take jobs that'll kill you or those who are protecting or abducting. Sabria asked, "Then why are you called the head deliverer?" Croatia said, "I'm only called that when the task I was given that involves me killing the target. Anyways, you're here to learn about the prophecy." A long time ago, a voice called out to Croatia, "Hey, Asha, where'd you put my clothes?" Croatia said, yelling, "Where else? Your closet, you idiot." The other voice yelled out, "Just because I didn't go to college doesn't mean I'm an idiot, Asha. Now, who are you talking to?" It was a woman who looked like either Croatia's mother or sister. Sabria said, "Our names are Sabor and I'm Sabria. It's nice to meet you, miss." The woman said, "Deanne, it's nice to meet you too, especially Sabor over here, with his cute ears and tail," she said excitedly, while hugging me from behind. Croatia said, "You're going to have to excuse Deanne here. She loves anything cute or adorable or anything that she can wear or eat for that matter. Also, he's a complete dud when it comes to gun accuracy, but is good at close combat and martial arts. But other than that," Deanne kicked Croatia and said, "Oh, shut up, Asha. You're so mean when you're being too honest." Croatia said, "Ow." Deanne asked, "Anyways, why are you you cuties here for, She smiled like a cat. Sabria said to learn about a prophecy about us. We showed her our wings, and she said, "Oh, that prophecy. Okay, give me a minute. Now I believe I put it here." She grabbed the book off of a shelf and said, "Here you go. You can read it to find out yourself. Assuming you can read ancient Greek." Sabria said, "Sorry, but..." Dan said, "No problem. I can read it. A long time ago, there was a war between werewolves, vampires, and hunters that hunted them both. This war lasted until the year 1586, but even though the werewolves became extinct, the vampires stayed hidden by hiding their fangs and interbreeding with humans as well as cats alike. The hunters never knew what happened to the vampires, so they thought they killed them all. Until World War I through World War II, they revealed themselves at the brink of those dreadful nights and world wars. There this prophecy became apparent. One king of angelic phoenix wings and one queen of nemetic wings shall rise or fall or lose the battle. The hunter shall rise or fall or lose the battle. The outcome to surpass an inevitable future. 4 wings shall be destroyed in order to die. 1 love, 2 lives. A hunter's death shall fall under the horizon. That's the prophecy that speaks of you two. Croatia said, in other words, without your wings at all times, and since it speaks only of the vampire hunters, I can train you both so you can kill them all in this country. Sabria asked, and you feel indebted to help us? Diane said, we both do. After all, we're vampires too.